o'clock. Everyone, please stand for the session.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, good now. Yay. So the record show all members are present. First up, public comment policy statement. If there's anyone from the public that wants to make a comment to the board, they will need to go over to the table over there and read the script, then fill out the form to make a public comment. At the end, we will reserve 30 minutes for public comments, but you will only get 3 minutes to speak on your topic. The board will not respond unless the chair allows it. Okay? Any questions on that? Being none, the consent agenda. I need a motion and a second.
So
moved.
Make the motion.
I'll second.
I got you, Susan.
Okay.
Susan, Jeff, second. Thank you. Any discussion? And then all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Hearing none, motion passes. Okay, now we're gonna welcome aboard, Jesse Finch. Where's Jesse? Hi, Jesse. I want to welcome you to Pot County's team.
Thank you.
We expect you to become a captain here real soon. Are you, already trained up yet, or have you done this before?
No, this is the second day.
Okay, things going okay?
A lot of moving pieces there, isn't there? Yeah.
Well, we're here pretty much every Tuesday at 10 if you want to come and see us. Okay, but again, welcome aboard. Appreciate your willingness to help the team out.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Jen.
Thank you.
Okay, and then next we have Kenny Lankford. Is that right?
Yes. With it.
Yeah. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Okay. Want to give us any,
Yep, Kenny's gonna run a grader out of the Hancock shop.
what color grader does he get?
Yellow.
Okay, well, good. You know, welcome aboard. Appreciate you being part of the team.
Nice meeting you, Kenny. Yes, sir.
Welcome.
Either one of you got questions for us? There's only about one of us that likes to drive around and follow road graders. You can try to guess who that is.
Well, me knows.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Hopefully we're done with winter and you won't have to do any of that snow grading. Okay, now we're gonna do the 23-24 employee recognition winners. The board recognized the 23-24 employee winners. First up,
Got a script here.
am I not supposed to use this?
Yeah, this one's far more detailed.
Okay, so my doing,
You're supposed to read all of this.
okay.
Thanks, Mitch.
Okay, welcome to the first Potawatomi County Employee Recognition Ceremony. A few years ago, the What Should Be Committee formed with a simple yet significant goal to ensure that the remarkable dedication and hard work of our county employees do not go unnoticed. The committee is represented by an individual in various departments. Human Resources, GIS, Conservation, Planning, Roads, the Recorder's Office, the Board of Supervisors, Jail, and Finance. Over this time, the committee has refined a process to recognize individuals monthly, quarterly, and ultimately each year who best exemplifies our county's 5 core values: service and accountability, ethics and integrity, job knowledge and skill, professionalism, and self-management. Today, we are proud to present awards to those who stand out in each of these pillars. Before we begin, the What Should Be Committee would like to extend special appreciation to Jamie in our GIS department. Initially, we hoped to be a partner with a third party to build an online survey platform for this recognition program. When that proved challenging, Jamie stepped up and developed a user-friendly platform himself, enabling both county employees and citizens to easily nominate exemplary individuals. Jesus. Thank you, Jamie, for taking on this task and helping make this program
Thanks, Jamie.
a success. To everyone here and online, remember that you continued participation is vital. Whenever you see someone going above and beyond, please submit the nomination through our website or via the posters, the flyers, cards located throughout the county buildings. We want to highlight these every day and moments of exceptional service. Now let's celebrate our 5 outstanding award winners. Each honoree receive a challenge coin and a certificate symbolizing their achievement. I would like, before we do that, are any of the What Should Be committee members here? Okay, there you go. How many, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you? Is that how many are in the committee?
There's a few more.
Yeah, 7 or 8 probably total.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for you guys putting this together. Okay. Rolling right along. The presentation of awards, Service and Accountability Award goes to Scott Bell. Wow.
Stick to the script.
This is a Jimmy Kimmel deal or something. The award recipient is my good friend, Christopher Nelson.
Chris couldn't be here today. He had a doctor.
Are you here to take it for him?
I'm not here to accept his award. I'm just here to represent the What Should Be committee and support everybody else that's here.
Okay.
But I will take his certificate. But
Okay.
I think he was maybe gonna come next Tuesday.
You can still read
You
his little bio,
Okay.
and we'll invite him to be present next Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm gonna read it again next week. Probably get it right next week. Scott, I'm honored to present the Service and Accountability Award to Christopher Nelson. Service and accountability means providing outstanding customer service, maintaining timeliness, using of our resources wisely, and following through on responsibilities to ensure that the best outcome for our citizens. Christopher exemplifies these qualities. Let me share the words from Christopher's nomination. I am one of the commissioners on the East Pot Soil Water Conservation District Board. We have been working on updating our 5-year conservation plan, and our current plan had older and lesser quality maps included in it. I reached out to Jamie, and he was able to facilitate our request for updated maps. I would like to sincerely thank Mr. Christopher Nelson for doing a great job for making the following maps for the East Potawatomi County Townships hydrological unit, code watersheds, source water maps, and mining and mineral maps for our 24-2028 East Potawatomi County Conservation Plan. Please recognize Mr. Nelson for his great work on behalf of the East Potawatomi County Soil Water Conservation District and the entire NRCS team. Chris, through his dedication, attention to detail, and readiness to serve others, you have truly raised the bar for service and accountability in Potawatomi County. It is my pleasure to present to you with this challenge coin and certificate. Congratulations, Chris. Nelson. So are we gonna have them all stand up here at the end, or what are we gonna do? Well,
That'd be a good idea.
Take a picture.
and following me is Susan, right?
All right, I get to present the Ethics and Integrity Award. And the award recipient is Veronica Burson. And when this application went through, she wasn't married yet, so it talks about her fiance helping as well, but it's now her husband. And Veronica is unable to be with us today as well, and we will bring her in next week so we can award her certificate. It is truly my privilege to present the Ethics and Integrity Award to Veronica Burson. Ethics and integrity involves showing kindness, compassion, and moral leadership, stepping in to help others and doing the right things, whether or not anyone is watching. Veronica exemplifies these attributes. From the nomination form, Veronica had learned that Terry, our favorite building and grounds worker, was in need of some help at home. Veronica arranged for her fiance and her to come over one weekend to assist her with these items. Terry was so excited to have the help and to get this done before her family came over. She was very proud to tell me that Veronica had done this for her. This isn't the first time. Veronica and her fiance even shoveled her driveway after a big snow. What a great friend. Veronica, your willingness to go above and beyond to offer kindness and compassion in moments of need truly reflects the heart of ethics and integrity. Thank you for setting such a remarkable example. It is an honor to present you with this challenge coin and certificate. Congratulations. So I will present these next week.
Okay. My name is Jeff Jorgensen, and, well, first of all, is Josh Reynolds here? Okay, there you are, okay. It is my pleasure to present the Job, Knowledge, and Skill Award to Josh Reynolds. This core value celebrates individuals who strive for excellence in their role by finding ways to improve efficiency, helping others through cross-training, and demonstrating a commitment to professional growth. Josh is a shining example of all of these qualities. Here is what one community member said about Josh. Mr. Reynolds is our road grader on 410 west of Avoca and does an incredible job. This gravel road is a main corridor for a lot of farm truck traffic to Scholar Elevator, and all of us in the neighborhood very much appreciate his great work. Thank you again from all of us traveling the roads, Mr. Reynolds. Great. Keep up the great work. Josh, your dedication to quality, your strong work ethic, and the pride you take in your role emphasize job knowledge and skill. Thank you for elevating our county's standard of service. I'm honored to present you with the challenge coin and a certificate. Come on up. Congratulations, sir. Thank you much. Give you this certificate. Once you send over here, maybe get a picture taken if that's all right. That's fine. I'll give you this coin. Okay, whoever is taking the picture, I appreciate it. All right. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Next up is Professionalism Award. And Lee Volkins is the recipient. Proud to represent Professionalism Award to Lee Volkins. Professionalism in Potawatomi County means fulfilling our mission every day, demonstrating teamwork, initiative, and business acumen, and being a reliable public representative. Lee models these traits with unwavering dedication. Share the details. Courthouse security is an important mission for everyone. Volkins often works late night meetings with planning tasks, often with heated people coming in. Wilkins has always handles people with grace and civility, adding a calm to tense situation. One evening, a person entered the doorway with a rock in hand and told Wilkins that he would have to kill him to get him to leave. He handled this situation like a masterclass in de-escalation. This situation could have ended with someone dead in our courthouse and national news parked out in front for a week. Instead, many will never hear about it because Lee diffused it so smoothly. We never even knew the incident happened during the meeting. That's how well it was handled. Wilkins will go about his next day, continuing to make sure that we are all safe and able to do our job. I also see him in the community with his family. He represents the best of what we want out of our employees, even reassuring a young mother about daycare he also uses. Lee, your calm, capable approach and your determination to serve the public with both authority and understanding truly set you apart. It's my honor to present you with this challenge coin and certificate. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks for doing that. Really appreciate it. And there's that little thing. Want to do a little picture?
Sure.
I'm not hugging you.
Thank you.
All right, I guess I'm next. I get to present the Self-Management Award. The recipient is Heather Schaefer. Self-management acknowledges those who show independence, composure under pressure, excellent time management, and a willingness to step up where needed. Heather not only meets these criteria, she exceeds them. She received 2 separate nomination comments. For the past 2 ski seasons, Heather has demonstrated an unparalleled dedication to her job duties in support of Mount Crescent ski area. She provided extraordinary support to her professional peers and ultimately embodied what it means to selflessly serve the people of Potawatomi County. She regularly employed extreme ownership over the tasks and processes to which she was charged, gladly assisted with duties outside of her role, and often used her personal time to complete tasks to ensure that project stayed on schedule and were done correctly. She demonstrated patience in stressful and frustrating situations, diligently worked to correct the mistakes of others, imagine that, and streamlined inefficient processes. Regardless of her workload or stress levels, Heather maintained a pleasant, kind, and supportive demeanor and always seemed willing to take on more. If for this nomination alone, Heather has proven herself to be a valuable asset to this county. Heather is so cooperative and supportive of our efforts in conservation. She is personally invested in helping the ski hill and everything else the conservation department does to be successful. She goes above and beyond, and I'm really grateful for the example she sets for all of us in public service. Heather, your initiative, composure, and generosity embody the best of self-management. We're grateful for the example you set for all county employees. It's an honor to present this to you. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Young lady.
It is killing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, you're the.
Thank you.
Well, comes the end of the show. Conclusion and final remarks. Congratulations once again to all the honorees. Through their embodiment of service and accountability, ethics and integrity, job knowledge, skill, professionalism, and self-management, each recipient shaped Potawatomi County into a place where employees feel appreciated and citizens receive exemplary service. Once again, thank you to the What Should Be Committee for making this program such a success. We encourage everyone to recognize their colleagues whenever you see someone go above and beyond. Please join me in one final round of applause for these deserving recipients. Thank you all for taking the time to be here today.
Get a picture of all three of them up here. Scott,
Yeah, you probably should.
yeah, let's do that.
Heather?
You guys have come up, that's got your deals. Good couple tomorrow, we can Photoshop those other ones in. Photoshop Jamie out, Photoshop, put Chris in.
Well, can we get one picture of them and then one picture with their direct supervisor? Two?
Susan all block you. I stand over here.
Maybe you ought to come over here in the middle.
Over to the middle.
Yes, Scott,
Well,
tall.
Yeah.
Maybe
There we
You guys situate, then I'll move it.
maybe you can start passing the ball.
Ready?
Our direct supervisors, that would be.
Sorry,
Josh.
Oh.
Congratulations.
John.
How many close are you gonna get? How about the reps? On the reps?
Come on up.
Wait, we need
Lee
one
and
farther.
Ryan first.
Ryan, you're awesome.
That's a hug him or?
No,
Just kidding.
no, come on. Oh, is that how we're gonna do it? Just
Whatever you wanna do.
yeah, we can do that.
This is the first time we can't know.
You raised the bar really highly.
I gotta stand on my tippy toes. Thanks, you guys. Lee, thank you.
Ryan, you're looking good, man.
Sure.
Got it? Oh.
Yeah.
You got some two-sided tape, put that in the window. Okay, good.
Good job, Heather.
We're not shaking hands.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you all.
Gonna do, recognize, Marilyn Heaving, office and passport manager, dedicated service and retirement. Recognition of Marilyn Heaving, office, and no action taken. Okay. Was there some,
Marilyn is retiring at the
Yeah.
end of this week.
understand, were we gonna, was there something else? Andrew, were you gonna say something about Marilyn or?
Yeah, I'm happy to.
Okay,
So, well, Marilyn's been in the office 36 years and after Mark's retirement, appointed recorder for a little over a year and has always stepped up when asked to. And it's gonna be impossible to replace her just knowledge and her attitude and personality. So really grateful with the time we had with her and happy to see her move on.
That didn't quite sound right. I'm happy to see her move on.
Been a great career. I'm gonna miss every minute. Andrew's been a great boss. But I'm excited to move on to my next chapter.
Enjoy retirement.
I'm gonna enjoy retirement, but I'll still miss everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Come on up.
we don't have rings.
Oh, well, why not? Thank you very much, all of you.
You have a hard time remembering which day it is now that you're.
I know.
Yeah, Saturdays won't be fun anymore. It'll just be another day of the week.
I'll bring you a hug later.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Let's see when we're cutting into the cake.
What? You guys
Oh,
okay?
I'll come and get cake too, yes.
One's down there.
I don't care wherever you wanna go.
Sure, here.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. What kind of cake we have?
Ah, it's good, just gonna have some.
Did you make it, Andrew? The cake?
He looks like a cake maker.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mary.
I really. Very much for everything.
Wait,
Come on, one picture.
Thank you. Thank you.
Come back, come back.
Marilyn.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey.
We have one.
Let's do something just a minute. Longer.
Well, that's a pretty big deal. We've been working on that
It
for
really was.
a long time.
A good deal.
Okay, now we're going to Angie Remington, Executive Director of Golden Hills, and Lance Bristow.
Chris Boyce.
Chris Boyce. Okay, Lance Boyce, Deputy Director. Have you always been the Deputy Director? Did you get a promotion?
years.
Okay. Golden Hills introduction and presentation to an update. No action required. Okay, who wants to start out?
Well, I'll start out, but heck, I came on the right day. I've laughed, I've cried, I've heard like heartwarming tales of everyday heroes here at the courthouse, and I just got invited to cake later. I'm really excited to be here. My name is Angie Remington. I'm the new director at Golden Hills RC&D. I think I've been on the job for a month, so I have just enough information to get it all wrong. So that's why Lance is here. You all know Lance, obviously. He's very
Just lean on him.
program. We won't take too much of your time, but we are here to give you a proposal for funding with the county. I know that Golden Hills has had a long relationship with Potawatomi County. Lance will get a little bit more into the details and the programs that we work with on the county over the years, but heck, I feel like it's the other way around. I should be cutting you a check after this morning.
Bring her on.
Wait, do you want to talk a little bit?
Yeah, we can, next slide, please. So we'll just real quick run through a little bit of our background. These are the program areas we work in. Land stewardship, outdoor rec and tourism, water resources, local foods, arts and culture, and then everything else kind of falls into community partnerships. So a little bit of everything. And where we work, so the might be kind of hard to see. There's a blue line, and that is our official counties. We have 12 counties in our region and our bylaws. The red and pink is basically how many different projects we have in the county. So you can see Potawatomi, Mills, and Fremont are kind of our biggest ones, but then some of our projects go all the way up to the Minnesota border and as far east as Guthrie and Adair counties. One project that runs through Potawatomi County is the Lost Hills National Scenic Byway. So it's been a byway since 1998, and this year is the 25th anniversary of the national designation, which is a pretty big deal. There's not very many national scenic byways, especially in Iowa. So we're going to be promoting that a lot this year. And it's there's a 200-mile paved route, but then there's also some optional excursion loops that includes gravel roads. This is a project we've been building over the last few years, and we have worked a lot with county conservation, especially at Hitchcock Nature Center. But we get volunteers together to go out and hand pick seed from remnant prairies.
And a lot of that will stay with the county conservation board for their restoration projects. And then we also, they let us keep some and we do a native plant sale. I think that's the next slide. We work with Iowa Western Community College. They let us use their greenhouse to propagate some native plants. And we do a plant sale probably this summer. I got a late start this year, but late spring or summer, we'll have a native plant sale. You can keep going. Okay, and this Low High Trek is an event that Low High is short for Lutz Hills. It's a multi-day hiking and camping event. We've so far done every Lutz Hills County except Potawatomi. So in April, we will be coming to Pot County. We're really excited. We'll be camping at Hitchcock, and then we'll have hiking at Hitchcock as well as an urban day through Council Bluffs where people will be hiking through the Lutz Hills in town. And then we'll end down at like Green Hill and Folsom Point, just south of Council Bluffs. Those are some photos from last year's Low High. This is, as I mentioned, the Lutz Hills National Scenic Byway. There's an interpretive master plan or IMP, and we've been working on implementing that. So the photo on the bottom is a mural that we worked with the city of Glenwood to put on their city hall. And then that photo of the panel we did, I think 20 or so of those new panels that were replaced a lot of old ones. So there's some up at Hitchcock and other places in Potawatomi County and all throughout the Lutz Hills. There's on our website, we have a Lutz Hills hiking guide. It's an interactive map that has information about all the different trails you can go hike in the Lutz Hills. Local foods is another project we work on a lot. So we have a farmers market and local food guide. If you're looking for a place to purchase from local farms, you can go to that. And we try to list all the food producers, any stores that sell local food, as well as farmers markets and restaurants that sell local foods. Just some more stuff. We've done a Dream to Farm class the last couple of years, teaching people how to start a small local food farm. And then last year we brought the Iowa Trail Summit, Iowa Bike Summit to Council Bluffs for the first time ever. We had about 100 people between the two conferences from across Iowa and Nebraska. That was really a great opportunity to showcase what's going on here.
That was a big deal.
Yeah. We're working with Iowa Western on a few different classes. One of them is this Friday about outdoor recreation, business development, and then a series of land stewardship classes for people who are interested in doing land management, especially ecological restoration, either woodlands or prairies. And we're working with Potawatomi County Trails Association and Pot County Conservation and you all to try to put together a new position that would be a regional trails coordinator. So I think that's pretty much it. There's more, but that's all I'm going to talk about now.
You can see why I brought Lance. He's got so much knowledge about the programs. And clearly Golden Hills has been really intertwined with Potawatomi County over the years. I know that we received funding from your board for the past, 6 years or so? So we've submitted a proposal, which you have in front of you. If you have any questions, please let us know.
Talk to them all the time.
Yeah,
And you trimmed your beard
I did.
even more. Good job.
And the request for 15,000 is consistent with what we've awarded in the past. It's got nothing to do with the trails coordinator position, right?
Right. Thank
So
you.
that will be coming at a later time.
Mhm. Yeah.
Good job, Lance. Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you.
Really appreciate your dedication to everything. With all the meetings,
Yeah.
all of them.
Sure is.
Very knowledgeable. I serve on the Golden Hills board and was part of the selection process that hired Angie, and I know that she will do great things for leadership in this organization.
No, I do. I will. That doesn't sound very confident.
You'll do good.
Yeah.
That it?
That's it. Moving right along.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in, Andy.
Appreciate what you
Nice
do.
meeting you. Good luck out there.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're up with Dana Kim, CEO, Pot County Arts, Culture and Entertainment presentation from BASE 2024 Impact.
Thanks for having me, everybody.
Yeah.
It's been another exciting, very, very busy year. So we have some wonderful outcomes to show for you. Of course, most of you hopefully know the Hoff Family Arts and Culture Center, right here in Council Bluffs, but we service the entire county. Wonderful 95,000 square foot facility dedicated to the arts, as well as it's become a very important community gathering place. Go ahead and go to the next slide. We, of course, PACE runs the Hoff Center. That includes operations, ticketing, calendar management, and a little bit of everything. We also oversee Chanticleer Community Theater. They put on wonderful productions every year. We also oversee Council Bluffs Symphony Orchestra. They also put on multiple concerts throughout the year. Lots of educational programs. We have over 150 kids classes. Usually about 200 is where we end up as far as programs provided throughout the year. One of our most busiest events is our Hoff Fourth Fridays, which is the fourth Friday of every month. We put on a wonderful way for people in the community to come celebrate the arts and experience all the wonderful things that happen within the Hoff Center. So we have the gallery open, we have the artist studios open, we usually have live music performance, a food pop-up from one of our partners, Kitchen Council, as well as this, again, just a wonderful way for our community to gather. We also have our wonderful gallery. We usually have anywhere from 4 to 5 exhibitions a year. Included in that is our permanent grant wood installation, which has some very important pieces to Council Bluffs and to the county as far as documenting our history. And we also have our artist studios that are subsidized by PACE, as well as community programs. So we do a lot of things outside of the four walls, music in the park, Winterfest, Celebrate CV. We're a big part of all the big community activities for Council Bluffs and Pot County. Just showing a little bit of impact. A huge part of what we do is the volunteers. We have usually any given year over 400 volunteers that come out and help make sure that we can put on all the wonderful programming and support the programming in the building. So they're a huge part of what we do, but also it shows the community engagement that people are willing to volunteer and give their time to help support the arts. Along with our staff, we have 28 employees, but we also employ creative contractors. So that means we're helping pay creatives and artists in our community, helping them have a revenue source, as well as supporting the arts programming in our building. We also have artists on consignment. We try to treat the entire building as gallery. So if you walk in the door, we have a wonderful representation of local artists throughout the community. And of course, in order for us to be effective, we have to have an active and engaged board. And several of you have helped serve on that and currently serve on that. So thank you for that. Go ahead. We set lofty goals for ourselves as far as impact. This year, we had set an impact goal of 40,000 people participating specifically in PACE programming. We crushed that goal with almost 47,000 people participating in PACE programming. Our biggest program was probably Beauty and the Beast Junior, which is our children's theater, which is a wonderful production that happens in September, where we cast the entire show with children up to the age of 18. We usually have about 50 to 55 kids on stage. 15 communities were represented amongst those kids in that show. Again, tons of programming, adult programs, adult classes. Of course, we're very passionate about children's programming. We set a goal of 100 kids classes. We did 136 this last year. And then as far as our gallery, we always want it to be an active space. We set a goal of 8,000. We had 8,300 folks come through the gallery. Chanticleer didn't quite hit their goal this year, Chanticleer Community Theater. Part of that was we had to cancel a couple of the performances due to weather. And so that just immediately impacts the amount of people that come through the doors. And of course, part of our program is also culinary. So we work with local chefs as well as some of those kitchen council entrepreneurs to help teach classes, not only for kids, adults, and teens. As far as place, we want to make sure that we're well-known and people come visit us. We set a goal of 90,000 visitors through the door. We crushed it again this year with 105,000 people through the doors. If you recall, when we originally had this idea for the Art Center 5 years ago, we estimated we would have about 50,000 people through the door annually. So if you build it, they will come and they continue to come, which we love. Strong numbers in membership. We once again have won, this last year, we won the Community Impact Award from the Council Bluffs Chamber of Commerce for all of the work we're doing in the community. As well as we have once again been designated by the state of Iowa as a cultural leader for the state, which is also great for us because that comes with additional grant funding once you get that designation and are awarded that status. As far as our visitors through the door, we estimate 71% of our visitors are from Iowa, 28% are from Nebraska. So we are a regional amenity and we're bringing people across the river to come see us and participate. And then we also have another 1% coming from 17 other states throughout the country. Go ahead and go to the next. We also like to look at economic impact and what we're doing for our community, not only in tax revenue, but also the money we're bringing to the community. So you can look at some of the estimated tax revenues that we're providing, not only to the county, but to local governments, but also to the state. And then you can also see our spending on top of the audience spending. We estimate that at 3.2 million. That does not include the activities of the ballet or the kitchen council. That is just PACE in our audiences. So again, we're bringing dollars into the state. Go ahead. Of course, we always want to make sure we're doing okay. So we always do a community impact survey. As you can tell, the first one is a little blurry, but the first one is we help make our community a better place to live, work, and play, basically. And I believe that's 96% agree with that. We also want to make sure that when we invite people in, they want to come back and see us. So the next question on there is, I plan to participate in a PACE activity again within the next 6 months. And 87% of people said, yes, I plan on coming back within the next 6 months, which is a great indicator that we're doing our job. Go ahead and go to the next slide. Of course, we always love the positive comments, tons of positive feedback about how much they love PACE, the building and the facilities and the programming we have. The one that I like to point out is number 7. PACE is one of the reasons I moved to Council Bluffs. So that's nice to hear. And it's also reflective of some of the things we're hearing on the state level. So Debbie Durham, the Economic Development Authority Director, she has actually mentioned PACE in some of her presentations, as well as the county trails. She's talking about the good work that we are doing as PACE, as well as using those trails to help get people to move to the state of Iowa. And her data is backed up based on license plates data. So for the second year in the row, more people have moved to Council Bluffs than people have moved from Council Bluffs to Omaha. And she attributes that to all the good work we're doing on the trails and with PACE and the creative placemaking here in the county. So love to hear that. Next slide. Of course, we always want to work with our Pot County museums. Our big thing that we usually work with them on is our annual exhibit where we try to feature them up in the gallery so more people become aware of all the wonderful things that they're doing for the county. This year we had Nishna Heritage Museum and the Walnut Creek Historical Society participate in the exhibition. We had 2,400 visitors to that exhibit alone this last year. So again, go ahead and go to the next slide. It's a wonderful representation of some of the wonderful treasures they have within their own collections and gives us, again, another way to help cross-market and bring more attention to the wonderful things that they're doing out in the county. So with that, obviously we have lots of great programming going on. You may have heard, and we were just talking about this with Brian last week. One of the fun programs we did was a documentary film regarding the Potawatomi Indians, Billy Caldwell. He and talked a little bit about the history of our namesake and how we got the name Potawatomi County. Billy Caldwell, Chief Saginaw, was actually buried here in Council Bluffs, so there's a direct tie to Potawatomi County. But it was interesting to hear about, how the tribe ended up here and how the county got its name, as well as we had several representatives from the tribe there for the documentary screening last week, and they were given keys to the city. So very nice way to honor their presence in our community. The other thing I would just want to make sure before I left that you guys were very aware of, obviously this month is our 5-year anniversary. So we made it. Hallelujah. We made it through COVID. And again, people continue to show up for us. The community continues to show up for us. We are having our big community open house on Friday night during our regular Hot Fourth Friday. So along with all the wonderful live music, food pop-up with Chef Around the Block, we have our gallery open. We're doing a photography exhibit with a history of the last 5 years. So you'll get to see lots of wonderful photography, not only from the community, but from Buck Christensen and Joe Shearer with the Nonpareil. We'll have lots of performances. We have the Council Symphony Orchestra is going to be playing. We have some performances from the cast members of Chanticleer Community Theater. So it's just going to be a wonderful night, a big celebration, and we expect a big crowd to come help us celebrate on Friday night. So we would love for you guys to come join us. Any questions for me? Yes.
You talked
Yes, absolutely.
maybe possibility of expanding the scope of PACE.
Okay.
I think the example I made, bringing in the Antique Roadshow.
Yes.
The PACE Center. I mean, there's a lot of traveling exhibitions out there. One facility that my wife and I really enjoyed visiting was down in Kansas City, the Union Station down in Kansas City. Are you familiar with that?
Not as familiar now.
Okay, it's down in the plaza area. It draws a lot of people from areas around. I saw the Anne Frank exhibit down there. I saw relics from the Titanic, what they dredged up bottom of the ocean. The original anchor of the Titanic is down there at that
Okay.
traveling exhibition. Is there anything along those lines that you can look at? as far-
We can
because
absolutely
foot
look at
traffic
that.
has to.
It is, absolutely. And I'm going to touch on that. Part of the reason that we don't do those huge traveling exhibits is they're really expensive.
Okay.
Those exhibits can cost anywhere from $75,000 to $125,000. And so for us, that would mean just us doing a concerted effort of raising the money in order for us to be able to get those exhibits here. And then on top of that, making sure that we charge a price for entry, which we haven't really ever done in our gallery space before. We've tried to keep it free for the community just to make it more accessible. What I would say though is that we're starting to look at much bigger exhibits. Case in point, we just were awarded an Iowa tourism grant. So we were going to be doing a bigger installation in 2026 called the Museum of Alternative History. And it's going to be a more expensive, probably the most expensive exhibit that we've created to date. That's probably about $50,000 to $60,000. But I'm trying to get that funded 100% with grant funds. And the state of Iowa has shown up for us with that tourism grant for about $25,000. We're currently working on an NEA grant as well. So depending on how federal funding goes this year, hopefully we'll get good news about that as well. So if we're going to do something on that scale, it's not let's do it tomorrow. It's a 2 to 3 years out. How do we fundraise and how do we make it work? And it's not that we're opposed to it, because that's always been the vision, is that we were supposed to have our permanent exhibits, and then that Gallivanti Gallery in the center was supposed to be those traveling exhibits. We just need to raise the money and build the capacity so that we can bring those bigger shows in. Yeah.
Dana, we agreed to fund you for
Yeah.
5 years, correct?
Correct, yes. And so you guys have already made your first installment for this year, so thank you again for your support. So this is more just of an update to make sure that we're being good stewards of the monies that you're providing us.
Is PACE going to be standing on its own?
No, we will still need some additional funds ongoing. The reality is that Council Bluffs doesn't have as much discretionary income as the larger metro. We've been able to tap some of the larger foundations in Omaha to help support us. We did get a new foundation this year, which has been a huge help. We got a $50,000 donation, and if we are able to continue to show them the outcomes of the impact, then I think we can keep them engaged for the time to come. But if we're gonna keep on growing like we are, we're gonna need your support.
Do you see PACE as standing on its own in the future?
No, I think in general, if an arts organization is going to survive, the local government has to help support it. It's a little bit different because some areas, so for like example, in the Des Moines area, they actually have tax revenue that's actually designated. They actually, it's part of, what's brought in to help pay for some of the public art and some of the art installations in the area. And again, that's driven by tax revenue. And it's a specific tax or levy that they passed years ago to help sustain the arts in the community, because they know that if you have an active, vibrant art scene, not only does it make your community a better place to live, but it also helps drive tourism, tax revenue, and all of the like.
You said Council Bluffs they're done.
Yeah, they are done. They are no longer supporting us, the city of Council Bluffs. I went to bat for us a couple times on the city council. But the reality is at this point in time, they, I'm paraphrasing, basically they felt if they supported one nonprofit, then that would open up the floodgates for other nonprofits. And so they, at this point in time, didn't feel they had the sort of like that tax revenue to be able to sustain more than PACE.
So did they lose their spot on the board then?
That is a very good question, Scott. That is not my decision to make. That is the governance committee's decision to make.
Okay.
Speaking of the board, did you get all of your board seats filled?
We did, absolutely. We have some wonderful folks that have sort of banking and finance background, which will be good for us this next year as we continue to set up our long-term investments in our endowment fund.
Our spots on the board were ex officio anyway,
Right.
so that should be a simple one to fix.
Mention the warrant packet with there was a 25,000. Was that our last commitment to PACE?
It was, so
Okay.
when PACE came 3 years ago, the request was for 5 years,
Okay.
but the board approved a 3-year contract.
Oh,
So-
okay. I thought we
so
were up
this-
for 5.
So the 25 that just recently went out
Okay.
was the last of the 3 years.
Thank you for that
So,
clarification. So yes, I would like to propose you continue to fund PACE if you can. Do you need an official proposal from me?
Yeah, you're gonna need to put
Okay.
something.
Okay, I will.
I can get the original agreement I made way back, man. We started this, when the city signed on. Apparently that agreements. Those are 2 separate agreements then, but now it is, apparently there was, so.
Dana, have you contacted or worked with the Convention and Visitors Bureau?
Yeah, absolutely. We're partnering with them on that tourism grant.
Okay,
So-
so they provide you any funding?
No.
They receive, I think, all the hotel motel tax.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And when I had approached the city council, that's how I positioned it, is that we would get a portion of the hotel motel tax, not from, the main coffers. But again, they felt like they could better spend that money elsewhere.
well, they get gaming money just like we get gaming. That was the deal that we made with Pete when I sat, original deal, I know you weren't around, so.
Right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. And I'll
Thanks for
bring
coming in.
forward an official proposal.
Yeah.
Yep, okay.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
You got some issues, Dana, on your signage that faces that viaduct. Sometimes it's not on,
Oh, sure.
and I
I'll
mean,
just make sure the signs are on.
it's very visible, that viaduct with traffic. And seeing those kids in there doing their,
Ballet and dance.
yeah, I
things,
mean,
yeah.
it kind of sells itself in that sense, but when the building's dark around there, it just really need to kind of lighten that thing up somehow. At night,
Make sure that
at
that
night
light.
it would really stick out.
Also, when I look at the junk on the bridge, it was supposedly art. I don't know if it is or not. But, I think the Pace Center could really stand to put up some large art outside in the parking lot.
Oh, outside on our property
I
and the
don't
like.
care, just
You know, the one thing we're trying to do, and we're gonna do it for the 5-year celebration, is we're trying to do some special lighting on the exterior of the building. So hopefully, by the end of this week, you'll see some bright lights shining on the side of the building right next to that Pace logo on that sort of that blank side where the theater fly is. So hopefully I'll draw some more eyes too as well.
Apparently my discussion got so much
What discussion?
about that building and how it should look, especially around the holiday season.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. We have looked at, we had contemplated doing some sort of like digital signage, because that is sort of that big blank spot on the south side of the wall. Reality is that's a big, that's a big investment as well, but.
It looked like a law humbug building this Christmas.
All right, well, we'll do some work on that. We can look at some lighting, and again, we're testing some things right now, so hopefully by the end of the week, we'll have some bright lights on the side of the building.
I think you'll see benefits.
Saw a Hallmark show that featured a couple that was selling houses.
Uh-huh.
And one of the things that they did was put a red ribbon around the whole house.
Oh.
Big bow.
Right. There you go.
That's an idea.
That is an idea.
Around the Pace Center.
Okay,
Just let me know.
all
That
right.
was on the Hallmark Channel, Jeff.
It was on the Hallmark show.
You watch a lot of those?
Retired. What you do when you retire? METV.
I don't know
All
if I
right.
admit that.
Well, thank you guys, appreciate
Yep.
it. Thanks for
Thanks,
coming
Dave.
in.
Yeah.
See if we, what time do the events start Friday night?
Yeah. Oh, and the bar opens at 4, but really 5 o'clock is a good time, 5:30, the orchestra starts, and from there on, we've got things going on the entire evening. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
up next, Tracy, are you in, Tracy?
Yeah, I'm here for Tracy. He is in a continuing education class, so.
Okay, so environmental,
Andrew Moats first.
Yeah,
what? Oh, I'm
there you go.
About me?
Hold on, hold on.
sorry, Andrew.
I don't want to forget
Thank
about
you.
you, Andrew.
Sorry, I'm jumping pages on you. Andrew Moats, County Recorder, discussion and or decision to approve and authorize board to sign resolution 10-2025 entitled Resolution Approving the Appointment of Deputy Recorder.
So Iowa code requires that the Board of Supervisors approves any deputy appointment I make, and with Maryland's retirement, I'm promoting Mary Jo Turpin as a deputy instead of keeping Maryland's office and passport manager job. I think it's about a $5,000 savings. And Mary Jo is unfortunate. She can't be here today. She's out sick, but that's all I got.
So it's actually recorders. There's 2, right?
Yeah, I'll have 2 deputies.
Okay.
But
I'll
Kathy's
make a
already-
motion to approve.
Kathy's already been appointed.
But yeah, Kathy is on the resolution just to make sure there's nothing wrong there.
Okay.
I'll second.
So Andrew, you don't plan on hiring anybody else?
I'll probably evaluate the office and see if I need to replace anybody, but I'm not gonna make that decision immediately.
Need any help?
What's that?
You need any help?
Yeah, you want a job?
No, I'm talking about making the
Oh,
decision.
I think I got it.
Well, any other discussion? Roll call.
Chairman Bell,
Aye.
Supervisor Shea,
Aye.
Supervisor Wickman.
Aye.
Supervisor Jorgensen,
Aye.
Supervisor Miller.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, Ben, oh, he's already up here.
Up here.
Jumped on me. Where'd he go?
Stuck right in.
Where'd he go? Facility manager, buildings and ground, discussion and decision to award contract for the courthouse pedestrian crosswalk improvements.
Good morning. Here to see how you guys would like to proceed on, this is removing the curb at the bottom of the stairs. And I have Mike here with me from Snyder and Associates. We received 4 bids, the low bid being $35,625.
Say that again. 28,000.
Well, that,
If,
That one's rejected.
if you read, there's a letter in the packet.
I did not read the letter. I apologize.
so that bid was a viable bid.
No, there were some inconsistencies with that bid. They didn't use the proper bid form, submitted a separate bid, separate from the contract documents.
So do we even have to have that? Do you have to even put that on here?
Put what on it?
That guy on there, if he didn't meet the qualifications, why did he make the sheet?
These were the bids as received and read.
Right.
Were put on there.
So you'd have to do it.
But, yeah, they wanted to recognize they did submit, but they had errors, so
Right.
they were
Well,
disqualified.
there should be like X disqualified on. So we got 3 others and you're going with United Utilities?
That's the recommendation.
That's the recommendation.
That's the
When-
same contractor that's gonna be building that next phase of Railroad Highway Trail.
When would they be able to start?
Weather permitting, we've allowed for 10 working days only, so they
Mhm.
should be in and out in 2 weeks. Short of the bollards, we allowed for, because of the lead time for the bollards, we allowed those to come later. But to have the pavement removed, replaced, and open back up to foot traffic or pedestrian traffic, total of 10 working days.
Are they working through a weekend?
Have to.
Okay,
What up?
just wondering.
United Utilities Excavation, who is that?
They're kind of a spin-off from another contractor, local contractor, but they've done work and they've only been around for 2 or 3 years, I think, as United, but they've done work in Omaha and over here as well.
Well, said they're from Council Bluffs, right?
Yep.
Can't picture where they're at.
Can you look at their bid and figure that out, Scott?
Oh, well, I probably will.
Yeah, is that your recommendation, Ben? Move forward with that? Is
Yes.
that your recommendation, Garfield? Move forward with that?
Yes.
I'll move that for you, Scott.
Okay.
We'll be able to keep the front entrance open during construction.
Did you say that?
Mhm.
There's a bond they put up for that, right?
There's a bid bond.
Yeah, right.
They'll have to provide a performance bond, but that happens and not until
Right.
you make your decision, then we get them
Yeah.
contract.
There's a bond.
So
They
that
will-
motion
they
was
will
to
have to
award the
provide
bid to
a
United and,
performance
authorize the chairman to sign the contract.
Okay, any other discussion? All
No.
those,
there a second?
Shay second.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you.
Good to get that knocked out.
Hey, Ben, while you're here, can I ask you one more question?
Yeah.
Where are we at on the lot where the annex was?
We're waiting for weather.
Okay, so have you heard from them? Are they gearing up to get it?
We have not heard from them. I'll have Jason touch base with them and see where we're at. I don't know if he knows or not, but
All right,
I'm assuming after probably March 1st, 15th, they'll probably start getting going on it.
let us know.
If we have good weather, so,
Let us know.
yep, we'll do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice. Thank you.
When these guys gonna start that trail after our lot or after our driveway?
No, it's. Come
I'll
along.
wait for the ground to thaw out.
It is.
3 days of nice weather.
Okay. Still no Tracy.
Yeah.
Environmental Health Coordinator, Planning and Development, discussion on decision to approve the appointment of Tracy Nose Capable as weed commissioner.
So
I
moved.
thought we did this once.
We do it every year.
An annual.
No, but I mean, I thought we did it early on in the year.
That was filing the annual report.
Oh, is that what it was? You made the motion, right, Brian?
Yep.
Second,
I'll say.
second. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Hearing none, motion passes. Okay, discussion and or decision on compensation condemnation commission.
So last July, I was in the process of updating and replacing some names on the Compensation Condemnation Commission. And I never followed through and finished up to make sure that we had seats available for everybody and that we had the right ratios. And Jeanette has received a request from the judge's office that they need an updated list for our compensation. So we're looking for or Nancy Strong and Dean Fisher have requested to come off. And Scott Hartman has asked to come off, and it's my understanding that Christy Jerkovich is no longer living in the city.
That's correct.
So we need to find 4 more. And I have, Kirk Henningsen is an auctioneer, but he's also an ag landowner. So if we find another realtor to fill that space, we can move him to the ag landowner openings. But
Is that all we need?
we need to find another ag land owner, a city property owner, and a realtor.
All the realtors are full.
Well, that's with,
Christie's out of there.
She's city property owner, not a realtor.
yeah, we had her in a different section.
Realtors are full.
Oh, really?
So we could just move that Kirk Hemmingson up to the ag landowner. And we need 1 more there and 2 city.
Well, if we move Kirk, we've got to find another realtor. He is number 7.
What do we need? City landowners?
Yep, and we've got Underwood and Macedonia city property owners. If we could fill in with Avoca and Minden or Neola, I think that would be a good way to add some diversity.
Put, Kevin Zimmerman in there for Mandan. He likes to do public service. And, what was the other one you wanted? Banana Crescent?
I just, somebody that doesn't have Council Bluffs as their zip code.
I could look at a couple places.
For a city person.
Yes.
So are we going to, I'll find an ag landowner.
I find one this afternoon.
We need to talk about that.
You don't know, I mean, who the judge is gonna pick, so.
No. Has anybody in the room got any suggestions, recommendations? You want to fill any spots?
Donna, you're ag land, aren't you?
You're
I
city,
own
no?
ag land, but I don't farm my ag land.
You don't have to be a farmer. All you have to do is own it. All right, I'm full.
Let me know what the commitment is.
Well, only if the judge calls you to be part of a dispute between someone wanting to sell their ground and someone wanting to buy it.
Or eminent domain comes into play and you need to establish fair market value for the property.
It don't happen very often, I can tell you that.
Primarily, Shauna, it has to do with a new road coming through where they need to acquire some property for the right of way.
Okay.
The landowner thinks it's worth 50,000 an acre and it's only worth 5,000 an acre. So they take it to court. And I think 5 or 7 of these people out of 28, right?
Yeah,
Out of 28,
a couple might be selected.
serve on the jury and determine the value of that property. And that's how that works. I mean to tell you, no joke, I think you would be perfect. All right, make sure you provide your information to Jeanette, and I'll call you after the meeting.
You act like you don't already know all my things. But okay. I will.
Yeah, there you go.
The only interesting part, and I don't know if they still do, but they used to always hold them out at the jail. So they still do,
I think so, in that new
right? Okay.
education room.
So if you don't do what you want, then they put you in jail.
A friend of mine serves as a realtor. She's never been called. Well, you never know. You might get called 5 times.
Kristen, do you know the Iowa code number that goes along with that requirement?
I do not off the top of my head, but I can probably find out real quick.
I have it in front of me.
So do we need a motion on those two then?
I would wait until we get all the spots filled and
Okay.
then make one motion to accept them all.
Okay.
I think it's 6B.4 or 6B.
6,
So who do we have? We got Sean and
6B is the chapter.
I don't know if Kevin will take that or not.
Only the specific.
you got what's yours?
Should have been at the meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give it to Danny personally.
So I've taken care of the ag land owner.
Mitch.
Who's taking care of the city people?
I will take care of one.
Okay,
I'll get one.
and then what, we need one more ag land owner?
well, Scott, did you have a realtor that you could add to the list?
Yeah, I probably can get somebody there. There's a couple new gals that are around.
So we move move Hemmingson up to ag land.
Yes.
Scott will find a realtor.
Yeah.
So Tim, Scott and Brian. Tim's done. Scott and Brian, you guys just,
Well, thanks for the pressure.
you're welcome.
Yeah.
Bring that stuff to the board at the next meeting and we'll be ready to rock.
Okay. I'll do her. The realtors, they do anything for candy. Yeah. Just drop them from evidence.
Yeah,
Okay,
okay.
nothing, no action on that. Discussion and or decision to recommend regarding, proposed annexation.
John, you kind of got a little on this, don't you?
I just went to the meeting and made some notes, what I think you ought to make for the consultation.
Okay,
You had 7 days to provide a response. You have 30 days for that meeting to submit a resolution in support or against the annexation, so.
And this is the annexation by City of Council Bluffs into Mills County.
Yes,
Just for anybody who's not clear what we're talking about.
and some portions of Pot County as well. So just kind of made some comments on what would be best for the roads out there, I guess, as far as trying to divvy up responsibility.
you're splitting the road. Is it 33 feet for them to annex?
Generally, yes, yeah. I'd like to check them before I said they're 33, but about 95% of them are 66 foot wide. So
Okay,
They're pretty well, it appears the DOTs typically put their fences right on the right of way line or not?
And some of that, if you look at GIS, looks like it's DOT right away still.
That's what I'm saying.
When they aligned the interstate, they might have bought more right away and put our county road on it as well. So that's happened when the interstates have changed.
Okay, cause that's, that's what it kind of looks like there on that couple of those stretches. So we got, with Mills County and us and them owning half a road, we've already got ourselves into one of those deals on Greenview, road up there on, that's half county, half city, which is a pain in the butt. So I think legislators need to clean up if they're gonna annex, they need to not annex half of roads. Be like putting curbs on one side, They have rock and gravel on the other side of the road.
But make sure I got this right, John, from where the city wants to start their annexation and only take half the road. Potawatomi County has no property other than right away from the interstate, then city on the rest of it, right?
Right, so the east side of their annexation would be all city, then the west side's interstate right away. So there's really no county property being served.
So why should so your recommendation is to request, or can you require the city to take the whole road?
I think you request at this point, and then they have some time to adjust it if they want to. So that was the point of the consultations, to give them requests from the county for those purposes. So,
And that would be your recommendation, right?
yes.
That they take the whole road from point of annexation to Mills County.
Well, they kind of come down some railroad tracks and they're away from the road, then they come to the west, which we had a map, to the west.
Hopefully it's better than what we had this morning.
Yeah, I didn't have Mills County in the map.
Mitch, can you bring up a map?
Too convenient.
Okay. All right.
So where they were coming to the center line of the road, my recommendation was they go to the west right of way line of the interstate and just take all of that. And so there's none of that's on us. So that was kind of the recommendation that I wrote and tried to put on your letterhead so you guys could approve it, I guess. But definitely the point is, to review that and submit it. And I think Kristen was involved too, I think.
Well, if it doesn't serve a parcel of ground for the county, it only serves city property. I would ask the city to take the whole thing. However, if they say no, are we required as a county to maintain, share half the cost of that road?
Yes, we'll have 50% ownership if they split it. So anyway.
And we don't put those kinds of roads in.
Well, I don't know what to say. I certainly want to have a working relationship with the city of Council Bluffs, but however, if I don't want to spend, our county road funds in the corporate limits of a city or a parcel of ground that doesn't even, parcel of land that takes us nowhere. I mean, I don't know. If we say no to the annexation, it's gonna happen anyway, so it's not like we really have a choice. All we can do is ask them to take the whole road, right?
Yeah, and your comments go to the state when they review that. So there's, one of the comments I made also is to renew the road agreement. So if we do have to have those roads, at least it opens up that agreement and we have to have some sort of resolution with the city on that. So it does provide some negotiation ability for us if the state reviews that and requires them to get a new road agreement. And I think they will. I think the state's the one that pushes that.
Well, yeah, we'll see. And, I mean, the traffic counts are gonna be, they're gonna be just off the chart when the school gets built down there. And a lot of them will use that road, because it's gonna be easier to get out of that way than to go through that T intersection and the Q line from 92 back to the gas station. Shit, that's about 1.5 miles with cars backed up. Somebody screws up, you sit there for 30 minutes. So there's a lot of dynamics working down through there. Then we have Bungie Avenue with what Google's got going on, and they want to, and they should have took some of that in their annexation. They want to change some entrances, John says.
John Rass or John?
John Rass.
Okay.
So we're gonna pay attention down there. I know they had indicated to me that they were gonna, Bungie's gonna come in too, so,
expanding.
They want the city, sewer. They got city water down there already. Then we got that bridge to nowhere down there. We got-
So Matt, you also looked at this information and you provided some feedback. Did we get all of your concerns addressed in this letter?
Yeah, that was everything that, I mean, it's in conformance with the land use plan. It's not ideal. Just with the way that they're annexing down without things driven over, then the majority of the concerns are just the impacts of what's gonna happen with traffic. That area is already a traffic nightmare, and with them, the way that they're going about the roads, I mean, I think it is important, just like John did a great job putting that all together, and it kind of captures both sides of the county line concerns, because I mean, it's obviously a multi-jurisdictional issue.
You know, I don't know, but we're probably, it looks like we might have enough right away, but we may have to put almost 3 lanes in there. Depending on how big the operation that goes there.
And they really need to exercise their full rights to the 80/20. I know that they grabbed a little bit involuntary, but they need to.
They could have took, I don't remember the number on it, but they could have took another, was it 287? Does that sound right?
I thought they had another like 37 acres they could take involuntarily.
Well, that would have been 10% of the 300 something.
Yeah, because they didn't get to count the interstate right of way or any of those right of ways don't count.
Oh, they don't?
No, they can't use that as they're counted voluntary.
Okay. Yeah, well.
Well, I've reviewed what you put down, and I think Kristen's seen it too. I don't have any issues with that. I really like the specific requests for modifications and agreements. It kind of spells out what we would like to see happen. And you said those comments go to the state too.
Yes.
I just want to make sure we get, whatever, I haven't read it all, changed it, but I want to make sure that we get up-to-date traffic counts at all those entrance and exit points.
John, when you and I were down there talking about this, they just, basically, all they wanted to talk about was the annexation. Nothing about development, nothing about future uses of these lands. But whatever happens down there, I mean, you have to have a environmental study done, a traffic study done. Am I right about all this?
Depending if you're using federal funds, yeah, there'll be a lot of environmental. And you brought up the trucks and they didn't want
Yeah,
to talk
because
about
this is
traffic.
gonna be inundated with traffic. Yeah.
I don't know if these folks will be using federal money. You know, they'll need to, get a permit for if they have some air stuff that they have to get a permit for. But other than that, I don't see them getting federal money. But,
Kristen, how much of this information in this letter that you and John put together needs to go into a resolution? We need to pass a resolution, right?
You need to pass a resolution. I think we give them a little bit of opportunity to see if they want to adjust, and then we can
Okay.
see what needs to go.
All this has to happen within 30 days, is that?
Yeah, the resolution will have to be passed within 30 days, I believe, of the meeting.
they want to let the people that are the developer do a traffic count, which I'd just as soon have a third party do it, or MAP or DOT do the traffic count. You don't need a person that's going down there to do the traffic count. Make sure somebody that counts traffic.
Are you okay with that letter, Kristen?
Yeah.
John?
Absolutely.
I'll move that, Scott, that approve the letter provided to us to send in response to the annexation of 192nd Street,
I'll second that too.
or however you want it to.
I want that traffic count stuff put in there figure that language out in that letter.
By the time you get to the resolution,
Well, we'll put it in the resolution too, but by the time we end up having those, our halves of the road, what kind of traffic are we gonna be looking at? Is our road gonna be asphalt and there's gonna be concrete, or?
Would it be helpful to wait and see if they accept our suggestions to take the road? Because if they're not gonna take
Didn't
it,
sound like Mr. Gibbons was being very receptive. I wasn't able to make this deal. You know,
One of the comments I heard too from somebody who's sat into that meeting, with the rumors of what they're gonna do down there for development, is the smell. I'm talking about some kind of a packing plant is being proposed down there or will be proposed down there. And what about the smell? So I don't know what kind of issues that brings up.
A sewer plant just north of there.
Okay.
So I don't think that's gonna be a big deal.
well, this isn't, this
No.
deal we're talking about right now has nothing to do with
I-
processing cows.
I understand, but once it's
That's-
annexed, then we have nothing to say about the development part of that. Is that right?
No, it's in the city.
Well, it's in Mills County too.
Well, yeah, this would be in Mills County.
I'm just saying what some concerns were related to me.
yeah, somebody brought up air quality and that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because that whole corridor is under, what they call it, over a air quality containment area or whatever it is. Because of Sire and Mid-Am and, those folks, so, and even Google. So we'll have to get permission to do that, but I don't think the South that's going, that's got much to do with the air quality side, so. Any other discussion?
And we'll have this hand delivered to the city before the deadline on Thursday. I don't think we can rely on mail to get it there in time. Yeah.
Yeah, we can walk it over there. Email it over, walk it over, put it on the mayor's desk,
All of the above.
yeah. Post it up.
But we get it ready to go, the chairman, do all of us have to sign it or just the chairman?
I think just, yeah, I
Just
think
the
just,
chair?
we can authorize the chair to sign it.
Yeah, oh, I'm sorry, the chair to sign it. And then Scott, if you get that to Matt Wyan, he said he would walk it over there for us.
He said, I didn't see you saying anything.
He said,
Wellness initiative.
You second? Is your second?
Yeah.
Include that?
Yeah.
Okay, you gotta say that.
okay, any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Hearing none, motion passes. Okay, now we're going to Janet Limerick, Director of Human Resources, discussion and or decision to approve recommendations to the employee handbook policy pound 202A longevity pay. Morning.
Policy Committee is making a couple of recommendations to the longevity pay policy. The first is that we would like to add employees, part-time employees that work a minimum of 24 hours per week should get the same longevity pay that full-time employees got. Previously, so if you look down in the red section, part-time employees would get, after they worked here for 5 years, $100 a year. And then once they worked here for $10 or 10 years, they would get $200 a year. We would just rather put them into the same program that full-time employees get. That's the first change. The second change is we would like the dollars to be increased for the longevity. Now, what you have on your sheet there is just a placeholder. That's not what policy committee is recommending. Policy committee is looking to the board to recommend some amounts on what that should be. But we feel that we'd like it to be a little more meaningful if we could put some more dollars into that. And then the other change on the bottom is talking about that no further action would be required by the board. And what that really means is that you're approving this policy today. So then any status change forms that would come in, you're notified of them via the receive and file by the submission deadline, but it doesn't necessarily require any sort of vote by you because you are approving this policy.
We have a lot of longevity in part-time people.
We don't have very many part-time people, so, no, I mean, and a lot of the part-time people might be seasonal part-time, and so then they wouldn't count as well, or either. So part-time seasonal doesn't count, this would be permanent part-time employees, and like roads, you guys have a mower, but he's only seasonal.
Yeah. we have season.
Yeah, I mean,
Would he be considered part-time?
No,
he's seasonal. So this would impact, I mean, we have very few part-time employees.
Well, I agree with, deleting section 2 and treating the part-time employees as full-time for longevity. I think that third paragraph you got could be deleted altogether. I think it's just simply, longevity pay shall become effective at the beginning of the pay period in which the employee's anniversary date occurs, period, end of sentence.
Okay.
The Board of Supervisors shall be notified through received and filed, period. I mean,
Okay.
I don't think we need to dance around it. It's the department head responsibility to make sure the form is submitted at the appropriate time.
We're not changing any rates, right, Jenna?
Well, we are asking you to change rates, yes.
Okay.
And again, what you have on your paper right there is just a placeholder to indicate that we would like, policy committee would like the rates to change.
We didn't, that wasn't in our package.
No, I don't see it.
What wasn't in your packet?
Second page.
No, there's no second page.
That there was an email that you sent on Friday,
Mhm.
February 21st at 8:41 that has more facts in here as
Yeah.
far as.
Did see that.
Yeah, there's no second page to the policy. So
Okay.
when I'm saying placeholder, what you see right there, 5 years, where it's cropped off and say there's 30 cents in there, that's just a placeholder indicating to you that the policy committee would like that increased, but is not sending you a specific recommendation for the dollar amount because they felt that compensation is up to the board.
Is this a must-do? I mean, I don't see us as having longevity in a part-time.
This is longevity for everybody. This isn't just for part-time people. This is for full-time and part-time.
We're just simplifying the current policy, which has two separate sections, one specifically for part-time employees. We already have the full-time employee longevity in there. We just wanted to simplify the whole policy since we don't have very many part-time employees. So it's, maybe one person would be, affected.
Our longevity right now costs us about 400,000. If we do what the policy committee wants us to do, costs us 730,000
Well, what,
or 582,000.
and those were just examples.
I know they're examples, but I mean, our longevity's worked fine the way it is for all these years. I am not in favor of, we struggle sometimes just to give a raise for people and making our budget fit and trying not to, tax our people out of their homes. So our longevity is fine the way it is. I'm not in favor of moving anything, to be honest with you.
I gotta agree with that. I really do. We've got lots to cut.
We've got a study going on at the jail right now, if they need new people. I've heard talk, haven't seen anything in writing about maybe a part-time person to take care of our bike trails. And we can't afford it. Don't look at today. Look down the road. We've seen what the state's done to us. And as far as setting a cap on our levy of $3, and right now it's $3.51. It'll go down, but after that.
They talked Saturday at the coffee about cutting more.
And I mean, just adding more to the debt, ladies and gentlemen, is not something I want to do.
We do understand that we're asking for money. When you look at what it is today, so 25 cents after 5 years. So you've put in, you've given 5 years of your service. 25 cents for a full-time employee is $520 before taxes. So policy committee was hoping that a more meaningful amount, something that you might notice, could be given.
In the email you sent on February 21st, you call out what's the difference between the employee handbook, the 911 union, and the sheriff's union.
Correct.
Is there, I would propose that we match the sheriff's union on all of them so that we have one set of seniority scale to go with.
So you're thinking about taking the sheriff union down to our policy handbook?
No, I think you're saying vice versa, right?
No, I'm saying with one exception. So for the 5th anniversary, the 26 cents, 10th anniversary, what the sheriff has is 46 and what we currently have is 65. I would propose increasing that to 65.
And then the others to be 26 cents, 92 cents, and $1.38.
Correct.
To map them.
Now, is that the deputies?
That is the deputies union contract, yes?
Okay, so they don't abide by our handbook.
Correct.
Okay. Well, we could be chasing them all over the board.
I'll make a motion to,
Can I ask a question first? Sorry.
longevity pay the way it is in our handbook.
Yes, go ahead, Andrew.
So this isn't new to this recommendation, but the policy excludes the deputies of elected officials where nothing in Iowa code prohibits longevity and would it only affect, 8 people in the county, 8 employees? Is there a reasoning behind not giving my deputies or Mary Ann's or Lee's or anybody's longevity?
Well, the elected
We-
official doesn't get it either.
We
That's
do
fine.
at this time. We give them, don't we?
Not my deputies, no.
Yeah, my guess would be maybe it was originally written just to match the elected official.
That could be.
But yeah, I don't.
There's a code and chapter for deputies.
Yeah, Scott, I made a motion to.
No, I know, we have that in a second.
Yeah, Iowa code sets base pay for deputies and it says base pay excludes specifically longevity and shift differential on a couple things.
That's
So
correct, that supplemental pay. You're correct. So you would like to see the deputies, which would be 8 employees, be able to
Roughly.
receive longevity? It doesn't, the policy doesn't.
The policy.
excluding elected and appointed officials, which I guess you could determine a deputy is an appointed official.
Let me just pull somebody up and see,
You appointed them this morning.
Right.
well,
One of them. But they've all been
Yeah,
appointed
but
by
she hasn't-
resolution.
she hasn't been changed yet. I'm just looking, who should I pull up? Who's somebody who's been here for a while?
Maryland,
No, she wasn't a deputy, she was a manager.
Amy Smothers has been a deputy for a while.
Well, the reason the policy committee presented this was because of some prior confusion on what the process was for submitting the longevity increases. So while they were trying to clean up the practice, they looked at the policy. And I can see if we make any changes, we need to update our procedures that go along with submitting these longevity forms.
And policy committee did discuss how to do that. And Andrew, you are correct. Deputies, according to Tyler, do not get the longevity pay. So, right, the policy, never had the word deputy in it, but it must have been the practice. I can't tell you when it started that they don't receive it.
I could see them being considered appointed officials.
I'll second this motion.
Seconding Tim's motion
Yep,
to.
Leave as is that what I'm understanding?
leave it as is.
Well, then we still have,
What about the part-time? So we want to leave the dollar amount as is, but can we have the part-time employees who work 24 hours or more a week receive the same?
Don't see why this is so crucial.
I don't either, Brian. I'm with you on that. You know, a part-time person working 24 hours a week isn't entitled to benefits, anything like that.
I think they'd want
No, I
to
think
become
it's-
full-time.
I
think
certainly
it's-
agree with that too. I don't know that if longevity is gonna affect their wanting to keep working or not.
Yeah.
What kind of dollar figure are we looking at?
Well, I mean, it would all depend, let's say it's 25 cents, let's say they hit their 5 year, and let's say they're part-time, and if they're working 20 hours, let's say they're working 24 hours a week, so 24 times, how many weeks are in a year? 52? Times 25 cents, I mean, it's $312 before taxes for a part-time person. Now, I see what you're saying, but from just a people standpoint, that person still gave us 5 years working, whether they worked full-time or part-time. Probably the part-time might not be their choice. That might be we probably don't have full-time in that job. Otherwise, we probably would have made it full-time. So they've still given 5 years of service. To me, that's what I look at. They gave us 5 years of service.
And in the current policy, they get $100.
They get
And we
100, right?
give them a job for 5 years.
And we gave full-time people a job for 5 years too, right? Yeah, I just think it's a nice benefit to say, we appreciate you being here.
Well, and if that part-time does get the opportunity to go to a full-time job, then I can see confusion with, okay, well, we paid him the $100 then, but we should have, it would have been easier if they would have been getting the 25 cents instead.
It's more consistent, so then there doesn't have to be any question. Anyone over 24 hours a week gets this longevity pay. I just think then there's no question. Provide some consistency.
Well, I think there's great value in longevity in employees. I just think that there's less training that needs to happen. Onboarding new employees is expensive. I think it's an opportunity for the county to reward employees for their dependability and their continued service. And I can understand why the policy committee brought this and why the board just not making any changes to it at all. Is just gonna keep it on the list to bring it back again.
Can I ask a question real quick? One of the big things for us was this policy was for the non-union employees. Well, my union employees don't have this in their contract because of supplemental pay. So it kind of cleans up that for our union as well, because they don't have any language anywhere that gives them longevity. This policy excludes them. They don't have it in their contract, so.
It would really help to have that wording where you say non-union to take
Yes.
that out so that it's for anybody that this applies to. And in the employee handbook, it does say elsewhere that if something's in a contract, that applies, but John makes a really good point.
So this is-
In section 1, where they're saying it says the non-bargaining employees, we'd like to at least get that part out of there. Because they are getting the longevity.
Absolutely.
All regular, full-time employees working 24 hours. Well, no, that would come out.
I just have all regular employees working a minimum of 24 hours.
If you wanna, I don't have any problems taking that language out. They're getting longevity pay per our handbook, right?
Correct.
Correct. As far as so if my second would concur with that, that will, include,
So Tim, your motion would be the only thing to change is all regular full-time employees,
correct.
and then leave everything else as was. Brian, is that your
I
second? as
second
well?
that. Aye.
Passes. Okay. Update from the board members on committee meetings past week. Jeff, you got any updates?
Oh, golly. I forgot to write it down. Had a legislative coffee on Saturday, always interesting to hear what's going on at the state level. To me, it's always questions, more questions than answers, but as the session goes on, I think they're in kind of a funnel process right now. So what we're hearing and is at some point it's going to be clearly addressed, and and we'll know what they're looking at for this session, but that's all I got.
What was first one last week or is it this week?
So this,
It's the 7th of March.
Oh, it's okay.
The one thing I will say, we did ask about, I think, Tim, you asked about the wind generation. There's a state senator that's pushing more that to happen in Iowa, and our understanding from what we've heard from our state representatives, it's probably not going to. So the windmill issue isn't an issue anymore.
Well, wasn't it tied with solar too?
What's that?
Wasn't it tied with solar?
Powered battery
Yes.
facilities.
It's just so you, I'd agree with what you said for the most part, Jeff. However, until that bill doesn't make a funnel.
Well, there you go. I understand.
Okay.
I understand.
Well, and it can pop back up through some other,
Well, it'd have to have funding involved in it now, in the ways and means before it to come back.
right,
Once it hits the funnel and doesn't make it, it's over.
yeah.
But,
Till next year.
yeah, bill next year.
No, they're not wanting the way 99 counties are doing things. So, yeah, read between the lines. Ryan, what's going on?
let's see, we had the board meeting, WIDA. I was in Minden for a meeting with McClure on some trails and stuff. And I didn't write down the other ones I had, and then I went to the legislative coffee. And that'll do me.
Tim, you got anything?
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of get, the head count of where we're gonna be tonight. We have an assessors meeting that's gonna need to have at least 3 of us there, right? People, we have to have 2. Who's planning on going to the assessors meeting?
I gotta go.
He does. I'm not sure I can make it from Trainer to here.
You won't be able to. So you're gonna go to the Farm Bureau meeting?
Yes, I am.
Okay,
I'm going to Farm Bureau.
all right. I'll see you at the assessors meeting, Scott.
Okay.
And with
That'll
that,
take a little pressure off.
what's that?
I said that'll take a little pressure off to try and run it here. I got a 6 o'clock too.
Well, we can't do it all. We also have negotiations today at 3 o'clock, Brian.
Mhm.
Are you gonna make that?
I don't know that I am
Yeah,
because,
we should be, no, but
you think we will?
Yeah.
Okay.
The negotiations start at 3, the training meeting starts at 4. You'll be able to walk in and say, hello, how do you do it? And
See you later.
so,
Takes about 25 minutes.
Jeff, are you going to the Farm Bureau meeting?
I'd like to. I mean, if you
Yeah,
guys,
absolutely.
if you guys need me to go someplace else, I'll do that. but,
All 5 of us can go.
Yeah, I'd like to be there.
We really can't all go. Because somebody has to be the assessor.
Got that handled now as it is.
Absolutely.
I posted it, didn't you?
what's that?
The Farm Bureau meeting.
Look, I would assume so, but
Yes.
yeah,
Thanks for being.
looks like it is.
Starts at 4.
Okay, Susan?
I went to the Council Bluffs annexation meeting with Mills County, and I attended the WIDA meeting.
Well, I went through, Nebraska, Wyoming, Utah, and Idaho. And I saw windmills for miles and miles and miles in Wyoming and Utah and a few miles in Idaho. The wind was blowing like a Comanche. The snow was coming down. My wife had out the Bible and the beads, said she wasn't going with me no more. So.
Why don't you drive better?
I gotta, well, it's Mother Nature got us, so.
Yeah.
Real quick, I was also at the Southwest Iowa Juvenile Contention gathering, and just to update you a little bit on them, they're getting a lot of requests. There is a bed shortage.
We're still libraries.
Juvenile, for juveniles in Iowa anyway, and, our facility is getting a lot of inquiries from counties throughout the state and even in the Nebraska side.
They are inquiring about our bed space
Taking, yes.
and what kind of occupancy we're running.
Well, yes. And, after the meeting, I talked to the powers that be, and I said, sounds like you guys are going to be needing a bigger facility at some point. And they said, well, it's down the road, that could be a possibility.
Well, this facility is a 2080 deal. So how full are they?
Currently, they're maintaining, they're maintaining occupancy. But like I said, they're getting a lot of requests. And, these requests are from, counties that had contracted with some entity out there that isn't fulfilling their contract obligations. So, I mean, these counties are looking for the places to live.
We should take care of Potawatomi County first.
No,
And foremost.
it's a 2080, so we have to take care of the counties that are part of the 2080. If they want to come, then we should set up a rate, whatever. If we have any availability, double what we're charging everybody else, so be my suggestion. Till they bring it forward,
Something to pay attention to.
yeah. Okay. Any public comment? No, Shauna?
No, but I will tell you, there's also a legislative copy this Saturday at Impact Hill. I spoke with Representative Seek when I was at the Capitol last Tuesday, so.
Who's gonna be at that one?
I know David Seek will be there, possibly Mark.
Okay,
It's Seek and Priscilla.
and it's up at the Hill?
Yep, 10 a.m. Impact Hill.
Oh, at
yeah,
10?
In case you wanted to, yeah, that's what I was told by Seek, but.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't seen a flyer on it yet.
My email.
That is correct, yeah.
Yeah.
10 o'clock, okay, thank you.
Hey, Shauna, don't forget, would you please stop in and thank you so much?
Well, gladly, thank you.
Okay. Now we got, what do we got?
In the live broadcast.
Yep, take off the live broadcast.